Well, hi there. Welcome to ChessBase Workshop. My name is Steve Lopez. Thank you for clicking on that link and joining us. Appreciate you being here. We're talking about ChessBase Light 2009 and ChessBase 10, the activated version of ChessBase Light, the one where you buy an activation key, you enter it, and you get additional features that you don't get in the free version of ChessBase Light, as well as features that also apply to ChessBase 10. So owners of both programs can profit from watching these videos. I get emails from people. One frequently asked question is, how do you convert from PGN databases to ChessBase format and vice versa? I've been looking all through your software. I can't find where it says convert anyplace. I can't find a conversion utility. That's because it's very clever the way it's done. There's not a separate conversion utility. What it is, it's very simple. You just copy the games from a PGN database into a ChessBase database, and it converts the games. That's how it's done. Also works vice versa. If you want to go from a ChessBase format database to PGN, you can do it that way as well. Now, I got to tell you, I do shortcut in these videos. People do write to me and say, why do you leave things out sometimes? Not necessarily important things, but there are some people that believe I should go into every last little gory detail. And the reason is because I want these videos to be shorter than Ben-Hur, or worse yet, the Peter Jackson version of King Kong. So we try to keep these videos down to 10 to 15 minutes instead of going on for an hour. So I'm going to leave a few gory little details out. We're going to talk about two formats. There's more than two. I'm aware of that. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to talk about PGN format and CBH format, which is the current ChessBase game database format. There's also CBF format, which is old school ChessBase from the old DOS days format. There's also CTG format, which is ChessBase book format. I understand. What we're going to look at, though, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to look at how to convert from a PGN format database into a ChessBase format database. What we're doing is converting games from PGN to ChessBase format. Very simple. First thing you need, we have on the screen here, we need a PGN database. I have one called Classical, which is all the games from approximately 1830 to about 1900. I think 1899 might have been my cutoff. But it's called classical.pgn. It is in PGN format. If you double click on it, what you're looking at here is you do see there are a whole bunch of games. And if you double click on one of them, you can just play through it, just like any other game. What we need is we want to convert these games into a ChessBase format. So first thing we need is a ChessBase format database. So we go to the File menu, select New, select Database. Bing! We get the Windows File Select dialog that pops open, and we have a folder I've already created called CB Workshop. Already has a database in it, not my classical database, a different one. The default is new database.cbh. We're going to change it to classical.cbh, so it has the same name as our PGN format database. This is how you create a database in ChessBase. By the way, where it says file name, underneath it says save as type, you can pull that down, and it does give you different options. Yes, this is where you have databases old format, CBF, or you can create PGN, or you can create an opening book in CTG format. So this is how you create all these different things in this same dialog. In this case, we're creating a new style, current style, ChessBase database, CBH format. We're going to call it classical.cbh. Click Save, and there's my new icon. You'll notice we have one that says classical.pgn and one that says classical. What we want to do is we want to convert these games, which are in PGN format, and have them appear in this database, which is in ChessBase format. Notice that we have no games down here. Once I click on it, it's a new empty database. It's real easy to do. If you don't know how to do this, you're gonna pop yourself in the forehead like on the old V8 commercials and say, oh man, that is really simple. Click on your PGN database. Just single click to highlight it. Then click a second time and hold the left mouse button down and drag this sucker over here and drop it on the destination database. And you will get a dialog that appears. We'll look at the elements of this dialog briefly. Source, classical.pgn, which we know. Append to classical, that's the destination database. We're appending these games, or copying these games to the classical database I just created. Okay. Game number 1 to game 1012, 1446. And these two numbers should be the same. Don't copy single doubles. Don't worry about that because it's an empty database. But what that does, it allows the program to eliminate duplicates during the copying process if the destination database already has games in it. Always import annotations, same deal. These two kind of go hand in glove. We're not going to worry about them. We'll look at them another time. Update the booster file. I don't usually use the booster file. I usually get rid of them, in fact. So I uncheck that. But if you are using search boosters as part of your databases, you can check that and have the search booster be updated with information from the games being copied over. I'm unchecking it. Then we'll click OK and watch how fast this happens. 12,446 games are going to be copied and converted in just a matter of seconds. Look at that. I bet that didn't take 10 seconds. Those of you playing along at home, if you got a stopwatch, you can check me on it. Now here's our classical database, the one that we just now created. We can double click on it, and there's our games. Check it out. We have over 12,000 games in this database from throughout the 1800s, and that is how we converted them. Why would you want to convert games from PGN format to ChessBase format? Well, the big reasons are twofold. Number one, ChessBase format databases tend to be smaller than PGN format databases. Now, there can be exceptions. If you have a very small database of 10 PGN games and copy it over to a database in ChessBase format and then append a huge opening key of every ECO code and subvariation known to man to that database, yeah, it's going to be bigger than your PGN format database, okay? Yeah, that's going to tend to happen when you have a huge opening key and a huge endgame key and lots of other keys that you don't really need for a 10-game database, all right? But when you're dealing with large databases, the ChessBase format databases tend to be a fair bit smaller than PGN databases. The other thing is there are various annotation forms that can be used in a ChessBase format database that cannot be used in a PGN database. PGN, by the way, we've talked about this before, stands for Portable Game Notation. Portable meaning it's easy to port from one program to another. All it is a text file. If you go into Notepad on your computer, if you go into a text editor, any word processing program, whatever, and open up a PGN format database, you'll see what I'm talking about. They're just header information and game score. But what you can't put into those databases are things like this. If you, let's say, let's go down here a way, and we'll right click and we'll pick special annotation and we'll pick pawn structure. And what that does is when we play into that move, we get a little pop-up that shows just the pawns on the board. It shows our pawn structure, okay? You can't do that in a PGN database. Now, you can try it. I mean, you can put it in there, and it'll even ask you to save the game, but it won't stick. This kind of non-text information cannot be saved into a PGN format database. So, I need to clear that. Same deal with things like, let's say just for chuckles, for some silly reason, we want to... This has nothing to do with the position, okay, but we're just going to draw an arrow. Colored arrows, colored squares, whatever, they cannot be easily, or they can't be put into a PGN format database. You can save these bits of information, this nonverbal, non-symbolic information, into a ChessBase format database. If I wanted to do this game and I wanted to add a voice annotation to every move of this game, I can do that in ChessBase format. I can't do that in PGN format because PGN is just a text file. It can't hold the pointers to the sound files of me narrating a game. So there are a lot of reasons why you might want to convert from PGN format to ChessBase format. Now let's say, we're not going to save this stuff, by the way, we'll just get out of that. Now let's say that we wanted to convert from ChessBase format to PGN format. It's real easy to do. Same deal, go to the File menu, go to New, go to Database. This time, in this pull down, you would select PGN, and I could actually call it whatever I want. We'll leave it at new database.pgn just for chuckles, and we will click Save just because I'm lazy. And if I want to convert these ChessBase format games back to PGN, even though I've got them up here, but just for the demonstration purposes, classical to new database, just drag, drop, Click OK. Notice that you can't do things when you go from a ChessBase database to a PGN database. You can't have it not copy doubles. You can't have it update a reference booster. There is no booster file for a PGN database. So you would have to leave all that stuff blank because it's not, it doesn't apply to a PGN database, and then click OK. And I believe it actually may take a little bit longer to do it this way. Maybe not. Maybe a second or two. But we can go back and copy these games back to PGN, which we have done, and now we double click on our new database and there's our games again. So that's all there is to it. To convert from one format to another, just create a new database in whatever format you want it to be in, and then copy the games you can copy a whole database by dragging and dropping. Next time around, we're going to show you how to copy just a few games from one database to another. So that's what we'll look at in our next ChessBase workshop. Until then, have fun.